But what is critical in this very hall today is for us to share expertise and discuss the strategy and roadmap that will be presented by the consultant this morning for us to critique and then bring into new innovative ideas for a way forward. Gentlemen, some couple of months ago, I think precisely in August, we gathered into this very hall to sensitize the public on the study that we were about to launch. That is a study on creche. And I remember us informing the public that the aim of the study is to look at the availability of creche facilities within tertiary and higher education institutions, with the aim of, establishing creche facilities within strategic tertiary and higher education institutions across the country. Why do we have to do that? Somebody will wonder, why do we need to do that? We know women go through series of difficulties that affect their welfare. And with a country more than half of its population as women, if they are not taken care of, if they do not acquire the higher education that they deserve, if they do not have the relevant skills, they will not be able to participate effectively or meaningfully in national development. And childbearing is part of life. Women undergo a lot. Of course, some men support, but I know a man will get up in the morning. The woman has to take care of both the man and the children. Is that not what happens in most of the houses? So that woman, if care is not given, she is likely to drop out. Because if she has nobody caring for these children, she will stay at home and pull back, meaning she will not even be able to participate in making positions because she does not have the higher education and skills set that is required. And this is why the ministry thought, through the support, of course, through the RISE project, with the World Bank support, the ministry deemed it necessary as part of the gender mainstreaming to go and study, to find out if really we have these facilities. If we don't have, what do we do to support the women holistically, especially the young women? So ladies and gentlemen, I think without much ado, I would like to welcome you all to this very important milestone, and especially the media, our very best friends, who are always here, even at the last minute, whenever we call them, they are excited to come. This is national development. This is nation building. Women have to be supported, because once we support a woman, the men are safe. And I think with that, with those few remarks, I wish to thank you all for coming, and then hope and pray that you will really do your best to, produce a strategy and a roadmap that will guide the ministry in establishing creche facilities within these sectors. Let me welcome you again on behalf of the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, for always being there, for your continued support and partnership. We cherish very much. Finally, once again, thank you and welcome to the Ministry of Higher Education. Thank you. So, technical, Mr. Mukhtar Davo to come and deliver the keynote address on behalf of the Honorable Minister. Dr. Mukhtar.
Professor Pierre, the Basin workshop on the draft creche roadmap and strategy. Good morning to you all once again. It is a privilege and an honor to address this esteemed gathering as we validate the draft Crutch Roadmap and Strategy. Today marks a pivotal step in our collective commitment to fostering and nurturing an inclusive environment for the holistic development of children and the empowerment of women in tertiary and higher education in the Gambia. At the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, our mission is anchored in structural transformation, particularly in revitalizing the TVET subsector. We aim to reduce dependency on expatriates, drive economic growth, and promote critical thinking, innovation, and inclusivity. We also recognize that access to quality post-secondary education must extend beyond classrooms and lecture halls. So establishing crèche facilities within our tertiary and higher education institutions is not merely a developmental goal, but a strategic necessity for advancing equity and inclusion. This validation workshop provides an invaluable platform for critical reflection, open dialogue, and consensus building. It allows us to refine the draft crèche roadmap and strategy, ensuring it reflects our shared aspirations and establishes a robust framework for implementation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we engage in this process, I urge all participants to contribute your expertise, your insights, and innovative ideas to enhance these documents into actionable and impactful tools. Our ultimate objective is to improve access, retention, and performance for all, with a special focus on supporting student models. This will serve as a cornerstone of our efforts to create a fairer, more equitable education system for all. In conclusion, therefore, I extend my heartfelt appreciation to the World Bank and all the stakeholders who have worked tirelessly to advance this initiative. Let us view this workshop as a critical step towards equipping our young women and other students with the skills and resilience needed to navigate the complexities of the global labor market. On that note, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Moherst'S is to use TVET to revitalize TVET and increase participation of female gender. And also, their participation of female gender, not just at home, but in education and total decision-making and nation building. It will enhance their participation in post-secondary education, particularly TVET, STEM, and apprenticeship. Why is this? Because we feel that in the national development, it should not be one-sided. It has to be balanced. Women and men should participate. And the women in the Gambia, they are willing, very willing to participate. But when they experience some kind of constraints on the way, we have to remove those constraints so that they can fulfill their desire to help the nation. That is why Moherst'S has taken up the bull by the horn to initiate this program, this project. Yes. And as the focal points earlier said, well, this event or this initiative was to make sure that women participate a lot in nation building. How are they going to do it? using the crèche. Crèche as an intervention. Intervention to do what? To make sure that women, I really want to use that word suffer. What they experience through childbearing and bringing up the children is a lot. So we just have to intervene to make sure that provide crèche for them, so that as they study, as they do their TVETs, as they do their apprenticeship, they are able to balance child and education. That's why we are here. Now you may ask, crèche. What is this crèche? Crèche. Sometimes people say daycare. Sometimes people say kindergarten. What is crèche? Well, crèche means, it may interest you to know that it's from a Latin word. That word crèche is a Latin word called creepy. And creepy means crib or cot. Okay? So it is to symbolize the growth of children, very young ones, infants, babies from the point of birth down up to 3 years or 3.5 years. This is the age that constitutes the crèche, the crib class. Also, sometimes crèche, daycare. What is the difference between crèche and daycare? One, the main difference is the age of care. That's the main difference. Both of them, they fall within the category of children. But daycare is from maybe 6 months up to even 18 years. Yes. They are the category that fall into the daycare system. 15-year-old can be put in a daycare because they are to stay there until their parents come for them. So daycare is not for babies. It's not crèche. Crèche is to 3.5 years maximum. So that's the difference. So let us note that now. Because kindergarten, yes, what of kindergarten? Of course, kindergarten is the entry point of academic. Entry point. At that age, you are 4 or 5 years, yes, you start introducing it to academics. Academic learning. So that is kindergarten. Of course, childhood education is a period of learning that takes place from birth up to 8 years old. About that. So it is good for us to know all these different categories. The crèche, daycare, the kindergarten, and early childhood education. So all of them are important. Now we are going to talk about the strategy. In the circulated agenda, put roadmap. The strategy will come before the roadmap. Okay? Strategy is helping us to know the direction and goals for achieving a project's vision. Okay? It discusses the what and the why of strategy. That's what it means. On the other hand, roadmap translates the strategy into actionable plans with timelines attached. That's the roadmap. And it tells us time for having so and so deliverable. From this time to this time, we have this. At this time, we target this. That's the roadmap. And of course, it specifies the timelines. It focuses on how and when it should be done. Okay, so for now, we are going to commence with the strategy. The executive summary said the role of early childhood environments and crèche system in national development. Scientific research have told us that this period, childhood, has a big role to play in national development because it has connection with the mother. So there's a role it has to play on the environments. So scientific research underscores the critical impact of early childhood environment and experiences on brain development, which shapes the children's potential to become healthy and productive adults that can contribute to national growth. Equally, providing uninterrupted education and training for mothers enhance their socio-economic contribution to national development. So you see that there's always a relationship, childhood and the motherhood. There's a relationship. If the mother does not take care of the child at that very point, at that infant stage, that crèche stage, it's going to affect the brain development. Oh, you are rushing for lectures. You should put the child, okay, call somebody to take care of the child. From the back of one of the compound mates to come and take care of the child. No. That child is going to grow up with some kind of impedance in his way of reasoning. So that's what scientific research have told us. Equally, if you are going to take care of the child's well-being, who takes care of the child? The primary responsibility is for the mother to take care of the child. And if the child is, if the mother is in school, undergoes interruption from time to time. Sometimes the child is having a problem, he cannot go. Then, at a point, he or she gives up. I say, let me just leave it and face the child care. Who suffers? National development suffers. National growth suffers. Yes. Now, it will interest you to know that this next slide tells us about the seriousness of this situation. Very, very serious situation. Now, if you look at the slide there, you see enrollment and graduation of female students in tertiary and higher institutions. That is statistics from GBOS. In year 2021, in tertiary institution, you see the female enrollment is 4,600 plus. And look at the graduation, 3,224. So you can calculate the difference. The difference, what has happened? Either they have deferred or they have dropped out. That is not healthy for nation building. It is not at all. So you see why Moherst'S, his wisdom, have to intervene and say, let us bring in this establishment of crèche in institutions of higher learning, tertiary, TVET, and higher education. 2022, look at TVET. What is the enrollment? 6,000 plus, 6,400 and something. What is the graduation? The females, 5,961. You can calculate the difference also. Then, of course, higher education. In 2021, 1,503 females. How many graduated? 366. What is the difference? 1,137. That is huge for the higher institution. Very huge. What is the reason? The research have found out that most of them, they drop out. The retention rate keeps going down because of childcare issues. So that's why it has to be mitigated. And of course, we are still waiting for the 2023 figures to come out. They will also display. But I tell you that this is a trend that is not good, it's not healthy at all. So let us take it to heart that females really need our care for nation building. Then, this task I was given as a result of these challenges that has been established, by this research. The task, Moherst'S said, go ahead, assess the current state of fresh facilities in the Gambia Secondary Higher Institution. Okay, evaluate the impact of female participation, and develop actionable recommendations to enhance childcare services, thereby improving female enrollment